program to bring you a special report.
Welcome to the second Tuesday of last week's news. I'm Sandy Sanders.
And I'm Michael Michaels. Let's get straight into the headlines. The Attorney General of Missouri has sued China for lying about the spread of coronavirus.
The Chinese government responded with a short statement. Do you even go here? Taiwan recently started their baseball season, and in order to keep the players pumped up, they have placed cardboard fans in the stands.
Each one has their own name and rank, which is starting a betting war on who will catch the first fly ball.
We are desperate for sports.
This week, the NRA commented it's possible that a new Florida law to ban assault weapons could take away 10-year-old girls' rifles on their birthdays.
Never to fear, sweetheart. This is only the beginning when it comes to what the government can take away from you.
Over the past week, there have been many protests against the shelter-in-place rules in various states.
We wanted to speak with one of these protesters about their reasons to reopen the state.
We welcome Johnny Dingus to the broadcast. How are you today, Johnny?
Well, first off, Michael, it's pronounced Dengus. But thank you very much for having me on your lovely program. But I'll tell you what, I'd be a little more happy if all these 5G signals in the air weren't with my brain matter, man. Tell you what, these are a big issue.
Interesting. Do you believe the theory that 5G cell signals are causing this virus?
Do I believe it? You believe in fairy tales and the tooth fairy and that the earth is round. What you know are facts. And the fact of the matter is that all these 5G towers that make your cell phones go beep, 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 super fast, they are getting into your blood and they are causing the coronavirus to occur. And it's attacking you because no human brain should have 5G. We were fine with 3G 4 years ago. And now all of a sudden, the big business wants to build these towers and mess with our brains. And now the coronavirus comes around just at the right time. I tell you what, my sons, they've been addicted to their phones for years. But ever since they built 5G signals, my boys are sick. They're coughing all over the place, touching everyone they know, and they're dying from 5G.
But aren't you worried about your health if we immediately go back to normal? Aren't you afraid of dying?
That's a good one, Michael. I tell you what, I ain't afraid of dying, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna live forever. I am an immortal being that has been blessed to walk this earth, all right? You can't get an immortal being sick, so go ahead, cough in my face. I can take it. You see these two hands? They have never touched water or soap together. Sure, I go fishing, and sure, I buy my wife scented candles and soaps, but they never touched each other at the same time. So touch my face, I'll touch your face, I'll cough on you, you cough on me, I'll lick you, you lick me. I ain't getting sick, bud.
So, who do you think is really behind this?
Who do I think is behind this? Well, it's easy. His name rhymes with Gil Bates. Bill Gates has been trying to intercept our brains for years now, all right? He's been trying to educate the public, which is really just his brainwashing abilities. He's been trying to vaccinate the children, which we all know is just injecting microchips into their blood so that they can get controlled by the libs, all right? And the worst thing about it is him and his Microsoft empire are always trying to install Microsoft Windows in my home. I tell you what, I don't want Microsoft Windows. I want big, hard windows in my house to protect me from tornadoes, okay?
So what do you think about the president? Is he doing a good job handling this crisis?
Oh, well, thank you very much for that answer. I truly, truly appreciate that one, because if there's one man who has been guiding us not so blindly through all this mess, has been our president, Donald J. Trump. Now that man, he knows what he's talking about. Tell you what, I sit down in the morning with a big old bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios with no milk, because you can't trust cows and farmers, all right? And I just dig into that while I watch his press briefings. And that man has never said anything dumb. Listen, I stand in the sun with zero sunscreen on, and I just let those UV rays go right into my blood. Now, I got to go back to this for a second, because I have a cup of this with a little bit of ice every night right before bed as well. One in the morning, one at night. And this has become my second favorite cocktail, second only to my own urine.
All right, with that, any last comments before we go?
Just remember, don't take any vaccines. They make you weak. Cough on each other. That makes you strong. And lick telephone poles and other kind of poles. Any pole you can find, lick it. You'll feel good, and we can get through this together.
Johnny Dingus, everyone.
It's Dan. Oh no. I gotta go. I gotta go.
A police department in Maryland has taken to Facebook, reminding residents to wear pants while checking their mail. Further stating, "You know who you are. This is your final warning."
Oh, come on. I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, this is America. We should be able to wear what we want, when we want. If I can't enjoy that from my privacy of my own home, what's the point? Unbelievable. President Mike Pence toured the Mayo Clinic this week without a mask on.
Pence responded to the criticism saying, "This is the only way to cure the gays." In Belgium, citizens are being asked to eat French fries at least twice a week or risk having several tons of potatoes being thrown away.
This isn't the first time Sandy has been asked to stuff something in her mouth twice a week.
What? What? I told you not to mention
And that's
that.
all the time we have. You've been watching the second Tuesday of last week news. I'm Michael Michaels.
And I'm Sandy Sanders. Michael's going to be losing one of something later.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of
It's the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show live. It's our third week.
Sorry, I think I was just delaying because all I can hear is the echo of my new mansion. Guys, I know it's only been 3 episodes, but I'm moving up in the world. Jonathan's moving down in the world. He's actually living in my basement.
Yeah.
Was I? not
Yeah,
supposed
I
to
mean,
say that?
it's fine. And you made it look like I'm at least 15 stories up. So I appreciate that. So being in the basement's not always that bad. Honestly, I talk to my mom at least twice a week just to check in. And we were talking earlier today, and we were talking about having a wicked sense of humor. Now, my mom had this old lady mask when we were growing up. Like, I'm the youngest of 4. She had an old lady mask, like a 1970s creepy,
like an actual old
yeah,
lady.
like
Not
latex.
like a quarantine mask.
Yeah, like creepy old lady mask. And she would wake us up in the middle of the night, standing over us, breathing, just in that mask. And she would just like jiggle us just enough to get us to wake up. And we would wake up and we see this like scary old lady standing over us, middle of the night. So wicked sense of humor from my mother.
Who you are now makes sense to me perfectly.
Yeah.
Also, for kicks, tell us what scares you. What's your phobia?
What is your phobia so that we can use this against you later for April Fools or Halloween or your birthday or Christmas?
Yes. Yeah, you thought you were just at home as a viewer, not getting picked on. Not this week, America. We're coming for you. What else we got for you, America? We've got so much programmables coming your way. We've got Steve's supergroup, minus the capes, but all the enthusiasm. And we also have Harmony Humpdey.
No,
Right.
Humpdey. Like the Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump.
Oh, one of these days I'll get it right.
Hump.
One of these days I'll get it right.
No. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty dance. Humped day. It's humped day. Humped day. I'm saying it wrong. I am sorry, Harmony. It's humped day. Hump. Humpt.
And as usual, we've got correspondent Mark Kendall.
Oh man, I hope we have the video worked out this week.
Yeah.
What we do? Well, who else do we have on the show? Karen Felix?
Oh my gosh, guys. Karen Felix. I am so stoked to have her on the show, because following up from Lace Larrabee, she actually does a little bit of comedy with Lace and tours with her every now and again. She takes comedy to another level. Being from the LGBT community, in her bits, she does say a little bit about, her come out story, as well as her Asian heritage and how that plays into it. So it's going to be a treat. It's going to be everything. Everything we want to do more. Everything.
Jonathan and Kristin. Kristin and Jonathan, eh? I've been wearing these silicone patches in quarantine. Do you know why? Because I grimace every time you pronounce my name wrong. Did you know that? I'm hoping they'll keep me young. So stop. It's Humpdey. Humpty, you two little rascals. I don't know why that's so difficult for you. I've stopped dressing myself. You're lucky I'm wearing a robe. Anyway, couples in quarantine are starting to kind of bicker at each other more and more. And we were able to get a little spy cam into one vehicle. A couple discussing their upcoming Thanksgiving plans, I believe. Yes, two quirky characters. Jonathan and Kristin, I'm coming for you.
Dad,
at Thanksgiving
my dad
again.
Does that.
I swear to God Almighty.
I can't control what he says. He's trying to bond with you by talking about
Bond?
this.
I don't want to bond like that.
Yes.
I go there, eat the damn food.
No and talk.
Oh my gosh, and get back in this car and go home. Can we do that?
Are you going to be pleasant? Or are you just going to sit there?
I don't know.
Scowl?
Is he going to come after me with all the weird?
You can ease the off guard
She
to
caught
remain
me.
jovial, because it's a depressing.
Jovial?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open and honest with them, just like my family feels like being open and honest with you, and I don't see why that's a problem. Would you rather everyone just shove their feelings down like your family?
Okay.
You guys sit there as a bunch of lumberjack-looking guys, just sit there and you hold your forks like this and you just grunt. That's it. You don't talk about or my womb or anything. You just sit there, grunt, nod. You're just emotionless lumberjack robots. That should be a movie. You should be in a movie called The Lumberjack Robot. It's crazy. It's perfect. Pitch it to Steven Spielberg.
I'll take a monotonous, emotionally closed
Lumberjack.
Yes, I was getting to that. Evening.
Okay.
Over. It's like watching a porno next to your grandmother at the dinner table. That's what it's like.
The elephant in the room here is that
There's
a little elephant. I think if you were more open to talking about things, then we would be intimate more often.
Whoa. Okay, listen. I don't know how in the hell we went from, I don't want to talk about pile driving a woman's vagina.
That is dangerous. You would do that to a woman? I'm just saying, we might not have such a problem if you could talk about it.
I didn't even know we had a problem.
I would say once a month is kind of alarming.
Okay, well.
A little alarming. Are you okay talking about the impeachment?
If it comes up, I'm not going to have much of an opinion, but I'll engage enough to look like I don't hate your family.
And coming up next, we have Karen Felix.
Don't look at me. What the am I? Nobody knows because I am racially ambiguous. Am I Hispanic? Am I Native American? Nobody knows. But in Trump's America, I have to emphatically let people know that I am Korean. Well, South Korean, not Kim Jong-un Korean, because that can be a problem in and of itself. Well, okay, let's be honest. I'm actually half Korean, so let's dumb it down a little bit. I'm Korean on my mom's side, and I am white on my dad's side. Like German, Irish, West Virginia white. And that is a problem when I'm around my mom's friends, because if you don't know, Koreans are labeled so they look at me like I'm a knockoff. Yeah. A counterfeit Korean, if you will. Like if you could imagine my little mom bebopping around down Canal Street in New York City, she comes across one of those card tables that's got like the bootleg DVDs, the Gucci handbags that actually say Coochie. And right there on the end, mixed ethnicity babies. And there's one Korean baby left, and she picks it up. This one is a girl. I'm only paying half price.
Hey guys, we're back with the Kristin and Jonathan show. We've got a very special guest today. We are with Karen Felix.
Hey.
Pow, 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 pow. Everybody has to do it. Everybody has to do it at once.
Oh, we're supposed to do it?
I see that you're into doing stand-up comedy now, which is crazy, going from, you know, the prop master background and set dressing and all that kind of stuff. Can you kind of tell us how you started and then how you transitioned into what you're doing now?
Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a comedian, and I wanted to make movies and TV shows, and went to college, not for that, just went to college like everybody does after high school, or most people do. And then was in the restaurant industry for over 10 years and just waited tables. I was a front of house manager, a back of the house manager, and then got transferred from Knoxville, Tennessee to south of Atlanta. And I worked for a company called Cisco Food Services, and then suffered my job loss on a Black Friday, which was actually probably the best thing to happen to my career, because then I moved to Atlanta, and that's how I got into the film industry. My best friend was dating somebody who worked in film, and I just bugged the hell out of him until he gave me a contact and a phone number. And then one day on set turned into now going on almost 20-year career. Yeah, and I've always been super sarcastic and funny and witty, and just, that kind of class clown personality, and just, dibble-dabbled in stand-up a little bit, and then took Lace Larrabee's Laugh Lab class, which is an all-female comedy class. And I took it about a year ago, and it just stuck with me, and the fire just was lit under me, and I had a fire in my belly, and I've been doing it for almost about a year now. Not paying the bills with it yet, still trying to work my way up that way.
So do you see yourself, staying in Atlanta a few more years, or what do you think, where do you think you want to take it in time? Like, what's your ideal situation with comedy?
Well, I think I do see myself in Atlanta for quite a bit longer, just because it does have such a strong comedy scene here. And just even comics from LA or New York or Louisiana, or wherever, they always say, they're like, we love the Atlanta comedy scene. You guys are so nice. Not only is your talent so deep, but you guys are just so nice. It's so cutthroat everywhere else, and people are just, vicious. And so it's true. Southern hospitality. Wow. And of course, we're all like, we're full, don't come. But eventually I would like to take my career out west to LA, aside from it being just kind of the pinnacle of the comedy scene. It's also, for me, I want to be a writer, a TV writer. That's my other kind of side passion that I'm working on. It is as big as the Atlanta film scene is here in Atlanta. There are no studios or writers' rooms here. They're all out in LA. So in order for me to pursue a career, I'd have to go out to LA to get that done.
It's really hard to hit the nail on the head for, what certain audiences find funny or whatever else. And I think what's so amazing about Atlanta too is, just how open everybody is to all kinds of different backgrounds. Ways of life, sexuality, age, just gender, what have you, everything, especially in the LGBTQ community. So I'd love to get kind of your thoughts on that.
Even though we're a southern state and a southern city, we're pretty liberal, and it's, being myself part of the LGBT community and being half Asian, I don't feel like an outsider like one might in a smaller southern city. So to be here and to have a platform, because a lot of my comedy is based on, my upbringing of being Korean and my coming out story. And that's where I tell a lot of my jokes. And so able to feel comfortable on stage and tell those jokes and tell my story and find humor in it, and to see other people laughing and finding the humor as well. And I had a very unique coming out story, but even to see other people go, well, if you can deal with that, I can deal with coming out as well. Or, you know, or just even somebody going, well, I'm a parent, I'm going to make sure if my kids come out, you know, I'm going to remember your little joke that you told that was actually part of the story of your life, you know?
That's the thing that
Right.
I've always loved about stand-up, is it's giving you that permission to just be yourself.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, if you've got 10 comics on a lineup, you're going to see 10 different personalities. You're absolutely right. And that is a wonderful, beautiful thing. For me, what's also interesting is to see comics go on stage and come off stage, because you almost get to see two different sides of them sometimes, you know, you see somebody on stage so loud and making everybody laugh, and they're playing with the crowd and they're laughing, and they come off stage and they don't say 2 words. And you're like, wow, you're very different than your stage presence, you know?
So do you have any advice, like a little tidbit of advice for new stand-up comedians coming out of Corona?
One, if it's something that you really, really want to do, persistence and consistency is the key. And that's something that I learned, is just going out, people, especially being new, and because the scene is really big here, and we have a lot of amazing comedians that have been grinding away for years and years and years. They see people come and go all the time. So when new people come, they're like, oh, there's Karen. We don't know who she is. We've never seen her. We'll see how long she lasts. You know, so if it's something you really want to do, you need to get out consistent so people can see your face. Even if you're not performing, go out and support shows and watch, and just encourage people. Have a thick skin. You know, people aren't always going to find you funny. And sometimes it's not your joke. Sometimes it's just the room. Sometimes, and I've learned this, sometimes it's me. It's how I deliver it. My energy is off, or I'm just not quite feeling it. I'm tired, and I'm just kind of going through the motions, you know. And then most importantly, there's a host who does an open mic who says this, and I think this is amazing advice. And I've seen some comics who need to hear this, which is, if you want to say something offensive and edgy and people laugh, congratulations, that's funny and it's a joke. If you say something edgy and offensive and nobody laughs, you're just a you know? And I've seen that. I've seen both. I mean, some of my jokes are edgy, and on the, you know, like I have this one joke that it's in 3 parts, and I set it up and people go, and then I do the second part and they go, and then I say the third part and then they bust out laughing, you know. It's like, okay, you know. And then I've seen people do this. They go, I'm not saying I don't like gay people, but, and they just list why they don't like gay people, and there's no punchline even. And it's just like, okay, that's not funny, and it's just offensive. That's not a joke. If it's not funny, you know, record your set. If it's not funny, try to figure out why it's not funny. Is it your delivery? Is it the way you worded it? Or is it truly just not a funny joke? Right. Because going back to that 3-part joke of mine that is kind of offensive, and here's a thing that I've learned from doing comedy for a year, is that a joke may be good for one time, but then just because political climates change, economic climates change, sometimes the joke doesn't carry through. And I learned that joke that normally kills and crush, I mean, like, it would get what you call an applause break. That's when the audience is like, ha ha ha, and they start clapping and you have to take a second. It went from that to, oh, I mean, literally, like, I heard people gasp, and I'm like, I'm going to quit telling it until I can reword it, or just may go away forever. Even though I think it's funny, the crowd doesn't think it's funny anymore, you know? And so you have to listen to the crowd too.
Yeah. Before we go to our sponsors, is there anything that you would need to give a shout out for?
You can follow me on Twitter, Karen Felix, Instagram, Nurak Felix. Nurak is Karen backwards. Other than that, that's it. Can't wait for the city to open up, and thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. We're going to go to our sponsors.
First of all, thanks for coming in so early. Nobody likes getting up in the morning. I sure don't. But it's important that we have this talk. Had a look at the ticket times. Ticket times are out of control. What the heck is going on, guys?
You know what it is.
I'm not ready to blame the new work from home policy just yet.
We work in a restaurant, and you have people working from home.
I think if we give it enough time, see that we end up being a lot more efficient. There's a lot of things people can do. Cooks, before your shift starts, make sure your cooler's stocked. I don't want you running in and out of the walk-in all night, especially if you're working from home.
Yesterday, I was the only one at the restaurant. I had to let everyone in at 5. Let the customers in. I was the only one there.
Well, that's on you, Rebecca. You do the schedule. If we're short-handed, let me know, and I'll hire more people.
No, we're not short-handed. Nobody comes into work. Nobody.
You come in, and you're stressed out all the time. We work from home. We're cool and laid back.
It's a restaurant. You're working from home.
I don't know what you want me to say. Guys, don't take that personally. She has a crush on me.
And we are here with street correspondent Mark Kendall. Mark, can you give us a reading on what's going on there?
Hey everyone, how's it going?
It's good. I'm quarantining in this very large empty room.
That's great. That's good to be spacious.
Yeah.
Both of y'all have very spacious backgrounds. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited to be back again. It's a real pleasure. Week 1, I wanted to show you a bird from outside of my window.
Yeah.
But because of technical difficulties, I don't think y'all were able to see it.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, so I've done like a lot of prep work with my camera and my sound, and so far you've been able to see and hear me this whole time. So I'm pretty excited about this week.
Yeah.
And I think because the technology is working, I'm gonna try again. Where the sun and the moon is right now this time of month, there's a very rare hummingbird that appears in certain parts of Atlanta. And so I'm just kind of waiting. Usually they kind of come around my window. And so when it does land on the branch, I'm just going to flip my camera around. I'm going to just describe to you what's happening. Is that okay? There's like a 30-second window each day because hummingbirds don't eat very much. So, there it is right now. Okay, so I've turned my camera around. And so hopefully you're able to see outside of my window right now. And so this is called the yellow hummingbird. And it's called that because it actually has blue feathers. And it's meant to throw people off the track because it's an endangered species. And so people are always looking for a yellow hummingbird and they don't find that one. Oh my goodness. That one hummingbird is now being joined by 6 other ones. I've never seen this. No. This
Mark,
is an amazing time. I'm so glad that I'm getting this on camera.
Turn the camera.
The Bird Society will finally take me seriously. All right, and they're off. They're off, and that's nature. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera back to me now. And, this is a really special moment. And I can see that y'all are speechless right now. So I look forward to getting the recording of this show. In the meantime, I'm going to go gloat on social media and call up everyone that ever doubted me and, make a lot of financial decisions based on the fact that I know that you all saw what I just described. I would stay longer and talk to you all more and get feedback, but I got to go and make a lot of rash decisions. Okay. So bye.
No, don't do it. Mark, don't trade in your stocks.
What are we going to...
So do you have room down in the basement with you? Because it looks like Mark's going to move in.
Let's just go to a sponsor. I'm devastated.
We're actually doing a assisting Mark Kendall fund. He's quitting his job today. If you just want to post in the link below.
You have to do a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. We're also going to have to do a GoFindMe because we'll find him before he spends all of his money.
I am an introvert and I'm living my best life these days. And I wanted to share some of the things that I'm doing to maybe help you guys live your best life while we shelter in place together. Some of the things I'm doing are self-care and some are things that I'm teaching myself. Like gardening. Like making quilts. And tapestry pillows. And meditation. And since March, I've read 50 books. So let's get creative and do new things like dressing up for dinner even if you're the only one here. Let's find ways we can be productive with this gift of isolation. And now that my cookies are done baking, I'm gonna call my twin sister. She's an extrovert. I haven't heard from her in a while, and I hope she's okay. I miss people.
We are back. We are here with Steve's Supergroup, everybody.
Hey, Steve Supergroup.
Hi.
Coming off a big win at the Atlanta Winter Improv League.
Oh, yeah. So long ago.
Yeah, right.
I finally won something with a group and got a run out of it, and they immediately canceled it. It was awesome.
Wait, you won something? But where are you guys allowed to perform?
Our porches.
Yeah.
At this point.
Zooms amongst the 5 of us on Tuesday nights really is what we do.
Yeah.
We don't record it though.
It's like real insider art.
Yeah, then
Is that where you sit and have some of your best ideas?
Yes, I hope so. It's actually where I sit and have all of my worst ideas.
We played a pretty fun game the other night in those chairs. It was pretty iconic.
Very sad, much so.
Oh, we got that Rona.
Oh no. Oh no. It's not what it looks like, you guys.
Killer.
It's allergy season.
Somebody spray it with Lysol quick. How did Steve's Supergroup get started?
Each one of us had like a very specific vision of exactly what we wanted to do. And it's one of those things where the stars align just perfectly. There was a falling out of another group, and like several other groups were kind of having issues working together. We found there was like a street light situation. We didn't know where we wanted to go to perform, so we just all met under this street light by chance. We started asking each other for suggestions, and the rest was history.
Well, the thing I've always loved about Steve's Supergroup is it feels very safe, but also like everyone's comfortable taking risks and kind of around, but everyone takes care of each other. So for me, it's just a bunch, like, it just feels like, how many are there? 6 of us, 6 friends that get on stage and mess around. So I don't know if any of us have been like, we need to do this one thing with this group. We're like, no, if someone asks us to perform, we'll just go perform.
Yeah.
I have no idea what makes it good. Like, I could not. There's not a thing like, there's some groups that you see and you go like, oh, they're really polished. Oh, you can tell like they're so fast and they just turn on a heel. I have no idea why this works. But like whenever we see each other, we just start laughing and playing.
And Megan and I just love each other so much that sometimes when the rest of the group isn't loving each other.
That's really the core. You guys are really the core bond that we are, like the hub and the spokes.
Yeah.
You guys are the hub.
I'd say Hannah and I have an extremely professional relationship, and that's where it ends. Her characters are great. Her character leaves you wanting.
Like, what's something that's key that you feel like, somebody that's starting out should know?
It's all a matter of getting the reps in, like doing it as often as possible at any opportunity, and taking any of those opportunities and having the highest amount of fun possible. Especially coming and like learning, starting off, you start to get into this cycle of trying to get things right, and it doesn't matter. Like getting things right doesn't matter. Just do as much as possible and have as much fun as possible, and you'll find success.
I think the biggest tool that I use is to try and be fearless, because it really doesn't matter. Like you could think you have the best idea in the world and go on stage and it turns out it's the worst, and vice versa. You could have the worst idea in the world and turns out it's the best. So just, I think, approach being on stage with reckless abandon, kind of be on stage thinking like, well, if I'm never on stage again, I want to have put everything into this scene.
Blow your wad.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, you keep your wad in. That's what fuels you.
That's what Napoleon Hill said in his book, isn't it? Just don't have sex and save it and turn it into creativity.
That's crazy. That's what everyone in my church said too.
That's what all my girlfriends said. It was super weird.
Keep your wad in.
I mean, also, like, kind of piggybacking off of Cole, I always tell people, like, it sounds trivial. I guess it sounds simple, but give a shit about something. You know, like, if you're on stage, if you go out there and you give a shit, whether it's something small, like if someone goes out there and they're like, yeah, I'm trying to pick up an apple, and they're like, oh, this is my first apple. You're like, if you care about something, just choose to care about something. So then that way, when that thing changes, or if someone takes a bite, like if you have that apple as an example and someone takes a bite out of it and you're upset or you're happy, like you just give it, and then you'll start responding more naturally and you won't be caught going, I don't know what to do.
Listen and support, whether it's your idea or someone else's idea. You could take any small thing and make it into something spectacular. And it's really just more of an art of that. So what helped me, and especially I think if you're in a beginning level, is just be flexible. Don't get too attached to any one thing, whether it's your idea or like getting to a place. Just like be very present and listen and absorb and like make what someone else is saying the most important thing that there is. Like if it's like, yeah, you ate all my ice cream. It's like, you ate all my ice cream? Like my dad gave that to me right before he died. You know what I mean? Like it was the last ice cream. It's what we shared. You know what I mean? Then you take just ice cream and a roommate situation and you make it something bigger. Maybe that's too quick of an escalation, but I don't know.
No, that's the most Devin escalation of all time. Like it's either my dad gave me that and he just died, or like every time I eat that ice cream, my ass explodes and now you're asking if you're gonna die, and you're like, well, now we're in this world. My favorite set is when Devin bent over and spread his cheeks and we all went inside his.
Yeah,
that would be your favorite.
Multiple. I hear people all the time when they're first starting out saying things like, oh, I'm not good, or oh, that wasn't, or this wasn't, or just like literally just qualifying everything that they do. And I would just encourage people not to qualify, because you are where you are on whatever journey you're going on, and there is no like A, B, C grade. There is no additional affection that you will get. There's nobody evaluating you. There's no end destination or state. There's just the journey. And with improv, I get to do that with people that I laugh a lot with, that are super supportive and super fun. And improv is a little bit more of like a personal journey that I do with a bunch of sweaty people that I don't know their names. So, you know,
on stage, if you fail, most people are going to be okay with you failing on stage. And especially if you're in a scene with other people, they know how to play that with you. They know how to play that failure with you. And it may be something where everybody is doing the exact same thing and they're all failing, because then it becomes a game.
Steve Supergroup, thank you for the super awesome times.
Thank you, SSG.
Thank you.
Guys on stage.
Phone, wallet, keys. There's just not enough room in these itty bitty pockets.
Is this you? Do you hate how tiny and stupid and useless your pockets are? Why fuss over your pockets when you can have infinity pockets? Pockets that go all the way down.
Infinity pockets? Pockets that go all the way down?
Infinity pockets.
Wow! These infinity pockets, pockets that go all the way down, go all the way down.
All the way down.
These pockets go all the way down.
All the way down.
Wow, these infinity pockets.
Infinity pockets.
In these pockets, I can fit my phone, my wallet, my keys, my meds, my accordion, this cat? Whose cat is this? There's no end to these pockets! Thanks, Infinity Pockets, pockets that go all the way down.
Call now to order your very own pair of infinity pockets. Pockets that go all the way down. Pants so separate.
And welcome back, everybody. Oh, hey, wait, Kristin, where are you? Where'd you go? Ah!
I told you I'd get you back, you son of a ha! I had one old lady mask up here the whole time.
That was really mean.
I'm sorry.
Put it away.
I'm sorry. Come back. It's going to make you a better studio host. Just come back.
Halloween is a difficult time of year for me.
Listen, I just wanted to pay tribute to Grandma Wofford. Grofford, if you will.
It's my mom's mom, so technically it's Fowler.
Oh, well, Fowler would be proud.
Ah!
You know, I'm sorry for being such a monstera. I
don't even get that joke.
It's a monstera plant.
Can
Duh.
you figure it out?
Window. Wow, you're a fern.
Pine. I'm done with this.
Wow, he just gave me the palm, guys.
These puns. if anybody's left, nothing left. Nobody's left watching. They're like, I hate puns. Log off. Well, we did it. We made it through week 3. We should pat ourselves on the back.
Yes, we should. Although I have a maid for that now. Belly. Belly. Oh, it's okay. She's vacuuming my plants right now.
So we'll see everybody next week. Is that what we're doing? Is that where we are? See everybody next week?
Yeah, that's the plan. And in the meantime, guys, I just hope you stay healthy.
Don't do it. No.
Lock out your germs.